Okay, back to Cheryl, where we are recording this on Zoom. So what I'm going to do is you and I are just going to chat and I'll record it and then I'll post it to both my Facebook page and YouTube and people can find it and catch up. And if they have questions and comments, they can just let us know afterwards because there's no other way I can
That
figure out
sounds fine.
how to do this.
Sure, that
I'm
sounds
sorry,
fine.
it's frustrating and I don't like doing it. But in any event, this is the very first time that you and I have actually Zoomed. And I haven't actually seen
Yes,
you other than photographs. I haven't seen you for a couple of, better part of a
a couple
year
of
at
years.
least. Um,
Yes, yeah,
yes.
definitely. I think it's almost
Okay. And it
it's
is
2 years.
saying that your bandwidth is low in Florida. So we'll just have to work on that as well. Um, so the reason I wanted to bring you on and talk with you was because you and I have a partnership that we work together and collaborate on some quilts. They have a very special tug at my heartstrings because they are going to fund ovarian cancer research through the MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston. And you and I have done this. We're just finishing up our third big quilt. When we do a quilt, we do it queen size. Um,
Yes,
and let it be known that you're already asking me about the next one. So I've decided the only thing I know for sure is we're not going vertical anymore. We're going to go horizontal next time um, to do
yeah, I can
that.
feel it.
But when you got the quilt, I've seen the quilt back. I haven't done photographs of the full frontal picture of it yet, but I've seen the quilt that you sent back to me. How did you take what I sent to you and come up with this? Because I was just like stunned at how beautiful it is. So
Thank you. Thank you.
the floor is yours. Let me see if I can.
Well, when I put a quilt on the frame, I don't really have any ideas when I first start. I take a good look at what's behind it, and the fact that it had the flying geese on it, um, and the lines from the flying geese, I decided to try and do some lines that went along with that, but then take those lines and alter them different ways and come up with a type of pattern. And as I go along, I do more fill in, so that I come up with a design. But there was a lot of open space, which I gratefully thank you for because it gives me a chance to experiment and have fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so what I did was I did it more abstract because of the event, so that it gets more interest from people and better bids to help with the research money. And that's something really important to do for anybody that's affected by it, and especially because of the meaning for you and I. So I just kept building and changing everything that I did with it. I had a ball.
It literally, my mouth fell open when I opened the box. I was so amazed at what you were able to do for it, and not for nothing, we've done two quilts together. This is the third, and the first quilt that we did was very successful for the auction. We did very well. The second one was well received as well, but the first one sort of stands out as the benchmark of what we're trying to do to raise more money for research funds. And part of that is it's an online auction, so you don't have to be able to go to Houston to be able to bid on it. And we'll have more information on that as we get closer. Once it's down to MD Anderson and they have it, they'll start their promo pieces of it. We'll do it on our side, and we'll be watching it and haranguing people to donate. So this is kind of cool. So besides me and working with me, which is one of the joys that I have with this, you have a lot of other customers or people that you work with. Um, do you want to tell us about the quilt that's behind you on your frame?
I do quilts, my long arm quilts for two different instructors. This one is Linda Hahn's new design. It's called Castleton Corner. This is a variation of her new quilt pattern. And I also work with Carol Shaw. She's a modern quilter, and I long arm for both of those. That keeps me busy. I have a lot of customers, and I try to do traditional and modern, and sometimes mix them up. It keeps me thinking and inventing different things.
So you get quotes shipped to you from all over the United States, right?
Yes, sometimes I do. Yes.
Well, yeah, New Hampshire. But also Linda, well, yeah, Linda's now in Florida, correct?
Pardon?
Isn't Linda Hahn, didn't she and Alan move to Florida? So they're down
Linda
there?
in Florida. Yes.
Okay, all right.
And so is Carol. Yeah,
And
so
Carol
is Carol.
and Carol Shaw, I think she was in Illinois the last time I noticed.
Yeah, she's in Sarasota area now.
Oh, she is? Okay. So, and you belong to one of your guilds, you've just had the privilege of doing one of the president's quilts?
Well, yeah, I belong to four different guilds, and I one guild as president, and she's leaving office. Um, we always give her a quilt, and I long armed that for her, and it was kind of fun because I am quite a ways away from that guild, so we always meet at the Dillard's in the shopping center and trade things off because we're supposed to keep our distance from everyone.
Yeah, because you showed me
Raffle
the
quilt
pictures.
for the
I'm sorry,
yes,
but you showed me some
and
pictures
that
of
was
a
a
recent meeting.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, it was 120 by 120, and that kept me very busy. And it
wow.
was a beautiful piece quilt by a bunch of different people from the guild, and they all pieced so well that when it went together, it was perfectly pieced. It's very nice to do.
That's always important. That's always important. Um, when you are having people send you long arm quilts, do you have what is the biggest thing that surprises people when you talk with them about the prep work that goes into doing a long arm quilt if they've not ever worked with a long armor before?
Well, most people, if they're brand new at it, come with an idea of what they should have, or they bring a picture of the pattern that they did and what was quilted on it. And the way I go about it is I talk to them about themselves, who the quilt's going to, what the occasion is, and something about the person that it's going to, so that I get a better feeling of the atmosphere that I want to create with it. And then I talk to them about what they want, but also that they kind of need to set me free so that I can invent and create what I also can feel needs to be on the quilt. Because when I do a quilt, I see the vision of what will really look nice on it. So I kind of put a lot of effort into understanding who it's going to and what for, and something about the personality of that person.
I remember the first time that I brought a long arm quilt to, or a quilt to a long armor, I was overwhelmed with the decisions that I had to make and the choices I had to make and the volume of information. I kind of in my head thought, just here, kind of like what I do with you, just here, have fun. But there's a lot of it from a long armor's point of view that I wasn't aware of. And because I'm not a long armor, I still, every time I go through this process, I learn from you, I learn from others in terms of understanding how it works. And you do your long arm quilting on an Innova, correct?
Correct.
And yours is not, so you have the ability to do the computerized piece of this, but most of what you did, like for our quilt, that's all what would be considered custom work, correct?
Right. I do hand guided custom work, and it's just my passion to do that. I can do computerized, and I do. I
Mm-hmm.
edge to edge, um, but I love being able to create something very specific and um, inclusive to who it's going to, so that it is something that can be um, created as an heirloom for them.
Well, your work speaks for itself, and everybody that has, I've been posting little teaser shots on some of my media piece, and I've gotten like, where can we see this? Where can we buy tickets for it? That's absolutely stunning. And all over that is like not my work, but this is my long arm partner. Because I wouldn't want, this is I'm responsible for the design and the piecing of it. You did all of the quilting. That is all you. And I am happy to shout your name from the rooftops because you did such a great job for us. Um, but
And I love it. I just love doing it. I just
and
love
I've gotten all kinds of just like little shots of this corner or that corner. I don't know that people necessarily see that it's all flying geese at this point. Uh, Spoiler alert, it's all flying geese. Um,
yes.
but I keep getting comments about, oh my God, the quilting is gorgeous, and oh my God, this, and it's amazing, and it's like I am so lucky to have somebody that is so talented that partners with me and gives you and I work really, really well because it's kind of like I have a feeling we talk during the design process and you have some idea as to where I'm going. But I honestly feel like there's nothing I could send you that you would open the box and say, "Oh, no, I can't do that." I mean, I've seen the work that you do when you're not working with me, and I honestly do believe that you could do just about anything.
I don't think I've ever done any quilt same as a different quilt, but everything I've done is different on every single quilt. So
That's amazing. I would be spinning and spinning and spinning in my head. I would have a hard time figuring out how to stop that and how to um, be able to go with that. Okay, so what is the one quilt that you would like to do that you have not had a chance to do yet? Is there do you have a bucket list of something you'd like to attack that you haven't?
no, I just think having the ability to continue to do anything and use the talent that I've been given as a gift to do something for anybody and make all the quilts as special as I can. That's just my goal. But as you promised me, our next one horizontal, that will be fun.
Yeah, yes. I've already written that in my 2022 planner saying, okay, next one has to be horizontal, and I will think on that. Um, I know that one of the trips that you always enjoy when we live in a life where we can get together and see people, because I actually met you one time when you came to New Hampshire
Yes.
to go to the MQX show, and it's for those of you who have not seen this or heard of the story. I'll tell it really quickly. You had come up to the MQX show up in Manchester, and you were flying from Florida, and I was working the MQX show in a vendor booth. And during the day, I was working in the booth, but in the evenings and some of the after hour things, I went and kind of soaked up the machine vibe and and you and I met in a ice cream social line. So you already dear to my heart for that. You had what was probably the single worst travel day I could even ever imagine. You
Yes,
had
it
a
was quite the trip.
yes, and your whole attitude was, you know what? I've had a crappy day. I'm here for ice cream and fun. I've talked to, I've talked to all the people. You were the victim of identity theft on your way up
Right.
and
Robbery.
robbery. And so that could take any trip and just send it south. And you got there and you're like, nope, I came to have a good time. I'm here to be heard. I'm tired. I wish I could take classes that I'm not, but you know what? If that's her attitude, I'm hanging with her. So we pushed you in through the line with us. We kind of adopted you. I believe we told you that there was no calories at all in the room that night. You could have as much ice cream as you possibly wanted. And every time I saw you for the rest of that week, you had a smile on your face, a positive attitude. And I'm like, this is how you roll with the punches.
It
And
is.
I just fell in love with you on that day. I was like, yeah, you could have not only taken yourself down, you could have taken the whole event down, and you refused to do that. And I just thought that that was an amazing reflection of your gift and your gift and your heart. And we started talking. We met up again in Houston. We had dinner. I seem to remember I had to leave in the middle of something, and I left you with my credit card. I did get it back. Um, and it's just been a relationship that keeps on giving and growing. And, I wanted to do this because I've talked about you before, but I wanted people to appreciate the artistry and the care and the work that you put into your work. I wanted to brag on you just a little bit so that people will be able to put a name to a face when we do the final reveal on the quilt. And I wanted to have you on as my very first interview after hours. Obviously, we need to continue to work on our internet skills, and I'm not exactly sure why this didn't work, and I do apologize for that. This will be posted on it's being recorded on Zoom. It will be uploaded to YouTube, and I'll put a cross post to it for Facebook so people will be able to see it. If you have a question or a commentary, please message me. I'll put you in touch with Cheryl. We will do the follow up and we will continue to work on that. And there was also a blog post that was done on my blog today about you, and I will put the link to the video in there as well so that people can find you that way as well.
Great.
Um, that should all get done by Friday night at 5. I would rather say I Friday at 5 and then get it done tomorrow rather than the other way around. I'm learning. So, so that's what's going on there. And so now you're actually seeing for the first time what my room looks like. I'm not showing anything of the floor because I've been pulling scraps on my
Here,
design
here.
wall for a
I
project. I'm sorry, what?
don't want to see my floor either.
Okay, so we don't talk about floors or anything else. But yeah, so that's kind of this normally goes on Wednesday mornings at 10 every week. I had a commitment today and I decided to flip it and move it. It may have been a good idea or not. And we'll go from there. I do a Monday or coming up on Sunday, I am participating in the Around the US blog tour, and I've designed a blog for the state of New Hampshire. And that'll be revealed on my blog on Sunday night and actually Sunday morning. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that this month's Monday mini session, which is Monday the 26th, 4 hours after I have my shot, this should work. Um, we'll be doing an expanded sew along based on the New Hampshire block. I've got the basic block, but I've got some extra bells and whistles we're going to do about it, and we're going to play with the things that make New Hampshire, New Hampshire. And it will make more sense when you see the blog post on Sunday. That's kind of what I've got here. I don't want to have it go too long because I want to make sure that I can trim it up and clean it up. But I want to I know you were traveling and got home late last night, so I don't want to keep you any later because we all need rest later on. But I really want to thank you for coming on board and being part of this introductory series for interviews. We will get better. I am a work in progress. The fact that I don't know how to do something does not necessarily stop me, and we will go from there. So
Good.
you have a
Thank you.
good evening.
Thank
It's
you.
great to see you, and we'll be in touch.
All right. That sounds super. Thank
All
you.
right. Love you. Talk to you later.
Linda. Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
All